My name is Theo Langdon, and until the day she smiled at me, I was no one special. A maintenance tech on Orbital Relay Station Eros 9. My job consisted of tightening screws, calibrating aging sensors, and making sure the coffee machine didn't explode from overuse. No one ever dreamed anything exciting would happen 23,000 kilometers above Earth. But fate, as it turns out, doesn't need permission to rewrite your life. The station had recently begun broadcasting strange signals, data bursts that resembled solar noise, except they had a pattern, a rhythm like language. Most of the crew thought it was just interference. But I stayed up nights, listening to the clicks and pulses. Something about them felt alive. On the 87th day of my 6-month rotation, she arrived. She didn't dock via shuttle or announce her arrival. One minute, I was fixing a coolant leak in Section C, and the next, I turned around to see her standing in the corridor, bathed in the flickering emergency lights. Tall, graceful, with silver eyes that shimmered like moonlit oceans. Her hair floated around her like it had a mind of its own, strands catching the low-gravity air as if dancing to some silent song. She smiled. That smile didn't just warm me, it rewrote me. My heart kicked, my vision tunneled, and in that single instant, I felt centuries of loneliness vanish. "You heard us," she said. "You listened." I tried. I stammered. "You succeeded." Her name was Lysathea, and she wasn't human. She was Althari, a race older than Earth's continents, born of stars evolved beyond flesh. Her kind had been watching us for eons, waiting. They didn't invade or make contact. They whispered, testing to see who might listen. Not governments. Not scientists, just someone unnoticed, someone open. Me. "I'm just a tech," I said. "Why me?" "Because you never stopped listening, even when no one else believed there was anything to hear." Over the following days, Lysathea showed me what lay beyond our narrow perceptions. She opened neural pathways in my mind, revealing visions of alien cities hovering in clouds of Jupiter, ecosystems thriving beneath Europa's ice, and stars being born in artificial wombs crafted by ancient hands. But there was more. The Althari were dying. Their form, once energy and light, had become unstable. Their ancient methods of reproduction failed. Time had thinned their essence. They needed new genetics, something chaotic, adaptive, raw. They needed us. Or more specifically, me. "You are compatible," she said, one evening as we floated together in the observation dome. "Uniquely so. Your DNA carries irregularities, mutations as you'd call them, that we believe can stabilize our essence. You want to use me to make a hybrid? To make a future," she replied, her eyes softening. "Not just a child. New path. A bridge between our worlds." I didn't answer right away. How could I? 1 week ago, I was arguing with Jenkins over which wrenches belonged in which drawer. Now I was being asked to become the father of a new race. "I'm not ready," I finally said. "No one ever is," she replied, and her smile held both sorrow and hope. What followed was not scientific in the way I expected. No machines, no surgical chambers. It was a communion, mental, emotional, and yes, physical, but in ways that defied human understanding. Her touch wasn't flesh but memory, a merging of minds, a fusion of intentions and energy. And when it was done, she placed my hand over her chest, and I felt them. 2 flickering pulses, newly sparked, beating in tandem. "They are alive," she whispered. "Thanks to you." I didn't realize until much later how much had changed within me. Not just mentally but biologically. My reflexes became sharper, my thoughts faster. I stopped needing sleep. My body healed itself from a plasma burn in under 2 hours. The Althari weren't just creating hybrids. They were evolving me. But not everyone welcomed the change. When Eros 9 Central AI picked up elevated biosign readings and erratic transmissions from my quarters, command flagged me. A retrieval team was sent. They didn't expect to find Lysithea. They tried to detain her. She didn't fight. She simply revealed. One by one they collapsed to the floor, not dead but overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of her mind. I could feel their thoughts through her. Confusion, fear, awe. "This cannot be hidden anymore," she said. "They must know." Earth's governments did not react well. The Altari offered peace. They offered knowledge, technology, cures for diseases, access to the stars. But in exchange they wanted integration. Not slow diplomacy. Not treaties. They wanted to merge. Some accepted. Most didn't. A splinter group within Earth's Defense Command launched an attack on an Altari vessel stationed in lunar orbit. They used EMP warheads and tried to disable their systems. They failed. But not without consequence. The Altari, wounded and betrayed, prepared to withdraw. Lysithea was ordered to return. Her bond with me to be severed. Our children, yes, children, for she now carried twins, would be raised among the stars, far from Earth's hatred. I begged her not to go. "Let me come with you. You are still of Earth," she said. "They need you now more than ever. You are the bridge, Theo." And then she was gone. The station was decommissioned shortly after. I returned to Earth a changed man. Media swarmed me. Scientists dissected my story. Conspiracy theorists called me a liar, a puppet, or a mutant. But something else happened too. People began to listen. Not to me, to the signals. All over the planet, others reported hearing the rhythms. Children born with glowing irises. Teens solving quantum equations in their sleep. Dreams of floating cities. The hybrid awakening had begun. The Altari had not abandoned us. They had simply planted seeds. As for me, I became a wanderer, a messenger. I traveled from city to city, telling my story, not to be believed, but to be remembered. Because the time would come when Earth would need to choose again. Fear or transformation. On the 10th anniversary of Lysithea's departure, I received a transmission. Simple, encrypted in the same rhythmic pulses that had started everything. It said, "They are ready to meet you, Father." I wept. They came for me not in a ship, but in a vessel of thought, a corridor of light that opened in my mind, guiding me through time and distance. When I stepped through, I was no longer in Earth's orbit, or anywhere near the solar system. I stood in a cathedral of stars. Before me stood Lysithea, unchanged, radiant. And beside her two beings, taller than me, with eyes like twin galaxies. My children. They didn't speak. They shared. Images, emotions, memories of growing up in bioluminescent forests under sapphire skies, of learning to shape gravity with a thought, of hearing stories of me, the man who had listened when no one else did. They knelt before me. "Why?" I asked. "Because you gave us more than life," one said. "You gave us hope." I stayed with them for what felt like years. I learned, taught. I laughed again. But eventually I asked to return, not because I didn't love them, but because Earth still teetered on the edge. I needed to be there when the tipping point came. So they brought me back. It's been 30 years since I first met Lysithea. Earth has changed. Slowly, clumsily. But we're evolving not just technologically but consciously. Fear has not disappeared, but it no longer reigns.